Now safe from dragon attacks, as our heroes venture deeper into the forsaken complex known as the Carrion Pit, they are met with an overwhelming stench that assaulted their senses. The foul odor grew even more pungent as they advanced, and they soon caught sight of several troglodytes scurrying away, disappearing into a vast hall ahead. Without warning, a colossal iron cage dropped from the ceiling, ensnaring some of them within its cruel grasp. The troglodytes, now their captors, began hurling javelins through the bars with raucous, croaking cries. Thinking quickly, Drengr summoned his immense strength, lifting one edge of the cage just high enough for Daermon and himself to slip beneath it. Meanwhile, Stray Dog and Aurora, avoiding the cage's trap, nimbly crossed over it from the other side. Emerging from the cage, Drengr and Daermon found themselves in a chamber filled with unsettling sights. Medical instruments, clay jars filled with organs and macabre body parts littered the room. A massive cage imprisoned 4 writhing Carrion Crawlers, while an intricate contraption with nozzles pointed menacingly at the cage's interior stood nearby. A colossal glass canister connected to the nozzles through a network of piping. From the north, an irate voice echoed, signaling the arrival of a burly hill giant with a long beard. Before our heroes could react, the hill giant hurled a massive boulder at the glass canisters. The impact shattered the fragile containers, releasing a strange, hissing orange gas that enveloped the Carrion Crawlers within the cage. As if by some unholy alchemy, the gas caused the creatures to grow to monstrous proportions. Drengr charged at the giant, seeking to engage him head-on. While the others fended off the Troglodytes and the colossal Carrion Crawlers, they noticed that the hill giant was no ordinary brute. He displayed unexpected finesse in combat, inflicting numerous wounds on Drengr. In a ferocious blow, Drengr was sent hurtling through the air, crashing down nearly 20 feet away. While the spellcasters combined a nasty spike growth and the radiant energy of the dawn to take out the remaining opponents, Drengr persevered, and with the aid of his allies forced the hill giant to surrender. As they questioned him, he identified himself as Charlgar, a name unfamiliar to our heroes. Though Charlgar appeared somewhat simple-minded, he claimed he had sought refuge from the dragons within these confines and offered them a substantial treasure, a key he had lost, in exchange for his freedom. Doubts lingered among the heroes, some suspecting his apparent idiocy was merely a ruse. Pressing onward, they explored further and stumbled upon an alchemical lab, a library, and a storage room. Hidden behind the counter in the storage room, they discovered a dwarf named Wilmot Coldtooth. He introduced himself as a scientist who wished to remain uninvolved in the dragon's schemes, emphasizing that his cooperation with Charlgar had been coerced. Our heroes escorted Charlgar and Wilmot to the library, where Charlgar indicated a secret door leading to the feeding room. Upon opening the door, they found themselves facing an iron cage resembling those used for sharks. Beyond it lay a nightmarish chamber swarming with Carrion Crawlers covering the floor and walls. Charlgar claimed that he had lost the key somewhere beyond this grotesque chamber, an assertion met with skepticism. The heroes, growing increasingly suspicious of Charlgar, contemplated forcing him into the chamber. Yet, in a sudden bid for freedom, Charlgar broke free and attempted to escape. The heroes gave chase, ultimately cutting him down. They left his lifeless body behind as bait to distract the Carrion Crawlers while they ventured deeper into the cavern beyond. There, they discovered a vast, natural chamber, its air frigid and illuminated eerily by phosphorescent fungi that clung to the walls, floor, and even the ceiling. Carrion Crawlers of all shapes and sizes infested the chamber. Our heroes utilized light and fire to keep the aberrations at bay as they pressed forward. The foul smell that permeated the entire complex grew worse as they crossed a rocky ridge. Behind it, they encountered a depression, within which lurked a Carrion Crawler of monstrous size, rivaling several bull elephants in sheer magnitude. Amid the refuse and bone fragments that formed the creature's grotesque hoard, they spotted a shining key. As they stealthily approached, the mother worm sensed their presence and crept up the ridge, ready to consume them. A monumental battle ensued. Sasha and Aurora bombarded the mother worm from afar with spells, while Stray Dog, Drengr, and Daermon confronted the colossal creature up close. In a perilous moment, the mother worm paralyzed Stray Dog and swiftly devoured him. Determined to rescue their companion, the remaining heroes fought ferociously, aiming to defeat the beast before it could claim Stray Dog's life. A well-placed spell from Sasha forced the mother worm to regurgitate Stray Dog, narrowly saving him from a gruesome fate. As Stray Dog regained his bearings, both Drengr and Daermon succumbed to paralysis and were subsequently devoured. With their friends still attacking from the outside, the two warriors swallowed by the mother worm launched a daring assault from within. Daermon managed to locate a vulnerable point and plunged his psychically charged blade into the creature's relatively small brain. Emerging victorious and drenched in repulsive goo, Daermon orchestrated the mother worm's final death throes. With the colossal mother worm defeated and the key safely retrieved from its grotesque hoard, our heroes ventured deeper into the complex, discovering hidden laboratories filled with curious elixirs and a trove of intriguing odds and ends. Their exploration eventually led them to a revelation. Wilmot Coldtooth, the dwarf scientist they had rescued, was the creator of the medicine intended for King Yllakhan and still had some in supply. Exhausted and battered from the day's relentless challenges, our heroes decided to seize the opportunity for respite and recuperation. They knew the dragons that loomed over Congenthulnir could strike at any moment. Settling into a secure chamber, they finally allowed themselves a well-deserved long rest, praying that the dragons would not descend upon what little remained of the city while they were vulnerable.